Okay, so before the break there, I was, really getting pissed off and going on a rant about, how people aren't really seeing this and aren't preparing. And I mean, I guess it just makes me really mad because, I mean, I know I'm not alone in this, but it's hard to find like-minded people just around me locally, and I mean, hey, I'm just sitting here trying to warn people what's really going on, and people kind of look at me and be like, they'll ask me questions, be like, "Oh, Justin, is that real? Are you sure?" I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like, they had concern for a hot minute. Then it's like later on, it's like that never even happened. Like I never told them anything. Like everything I just said about life and death basically just went in one ear and flew twice as fast out the other. It's like it never even happened. And then I'm surrounded by people that are just, I'm okay. Like, it's great to be like constantly happy all the time and stuff, but it's like, that's just not me. That's just not me. Okay. I'm a pessimist personally. I'm more of a pessimist than I am an optimist. Okay. I see things getting worse before I see them getting any better. And I think that honestly is more of like a realistic view in this time and age because of what we're doing now and what's happening now globally and the threats happening on all corners of the earth. And I mean, from space, when we got solar flares, massive solar flares coming out of a corona of the sun, and that's going to threaten our electromagnetic field. That's basically, and that could wipe out all of our electric grids if it penetrates enough. And that could be, I mean, these things are huge. These things are massive solar winds pushing these things. That could reach us in, I think, a matter of days or hours? Something like that, in between those two. And we've got that going on in space. And then, it's like, and I'm all aware of this, and it's like I'm sitting here like, how do I tell someone this that's literally a walking dead zombie? And you know what? Part of me has just come to the conclusion that you can't. You got to look into the eyes of some people and see if they'll really take it and think about it and look it up and really try. Some people just don't have the charisma to do it at all. Some people don't. I mean, it would literally take a bomb going off right under their foot. Maybe, just maybe, they would see that whatever's going on now is wrong. Whatever we're doing now is screwed up, wrong, and it's got to be stopped. But who knows? That again is under. I mean, you gotta realize, people. California, you're dealing with a bunch of like millions of just whacked out, just fashion fiesta, just like everything's glam and nothing's wrong, Justin, and all you people out there that are trying to just fearmonger. Nothing's wrong. Oh my God. It's just, you're dealing with the most bizarre, whacked out, stupid individuals. I'm sorry. A lot of the American population is stupid. You got low informed Trump voters. You got very, very low informed Clinton voters. And at least some of the Bernie people had somewhat of an argument. Some of them, not all of them. A lot of them were still pretty stupid too. And they don't really understand the whole point of globalization, how socialism is part of globalization and technocracy to kill the family, make everyone stupid and poor like they admit in WikiLeaks, and they've been admitting for years, and creating these giant groups to have multilateral relationships instead of bilateral, and just completely economically shred the world in half and have the power on the massive, huge, what they call the 1%. It would be like the 0.0 some odd 4 something percent of people that would have all the money, and then everyone would be done. They take your business, they take your wealth, they take your pets, you eat your pets. Just like Venezuela, they are screwed down there. I know I keep saying that, but I mean, you got to hit this hammer home because people don't get it. They're screwed down there. They basically have their own problems, all right? Ever since Hugo Chavez, they've had their own problems. Now they got this guy coming there, says he can save Venezuela. I don't know if Venezuela can be saved. I don't know. No one really does. That's up to their country. That's up to them. No one can intervene there. They're screwed, okay? Those people down there are screwed. At least there's there's enough care in that country, sorry, my throat's getting dry. In that country, for people to be on the streets protesting about a socialist radical form of government that's killed them off when they have one of the biggest abundance and sources of oil on the globe. And they fail because they don't share that wealth in the economy with the people. They don't share that. They export it with high tariffs. And it's like there goes nothing back into this country. Their country. Nothing back. Nothing back. Hell, I don't even think we do any trades with it. I haven't looked into it, actually. I should probably look into that. If someone knows, you're more than welcome to comment. I don't know everything, people, okay? I obviously do not know everything. But I know enough how to not fall victim to this crap. And I'm sure people listening to this too. This should be on everyone's mind all the time, 24/7. I don't see how it's not, because it's just that serious. And if we put one toe out of line, if we screw up once, that could mean the end of civilization. And I'm not fear-mongering anything. I'm talking, this is real life. This isn't a joke. We're having power outages happening in 3 of the biggest cities in the U.S. 3 of them in one day. You think that's coincidence? I think not. I highly doubt it. Especially after seeing, what was that operation called? Gotham Shield. Especially after seeing that little piece of information come out. And seeing those, 7 or 8 plus government and state government bureaucracies and groups working with this. Oh yeah, I don't put anything past. Deliberate. So, like I said, I was going to go back to that because this is a serious problem right now. Total chaos, cyber attack feared as multiple cities hit with simultaneous power grid failures. That's off the Zero Hedge right now. You can look it up. I'm going to throw it up on there for you just so maybe you don't have to, but you can look it up anyway. And it's just, it basically goes on to say, the U.S. power grid appears to have been hit with multiple power outages affecting San Francisco, New York, and Los Angeles. Who's responsible for that? Who's responsible? I don't know who's responsible for that. That could either be a terrorist, or that could be something that was planned, or that could be a hacker, or that could be something, because our U.S. grid is completely open, basically. Obama administration did nothing to protect our cyber grid. That if one strike happens, if one hacker that's a genius knows how to get into this and shuts it down, at least temporarily, people would die. I mean, I'd say within like 2 weeks, if it was shut down for 2 weeks, I guarantee you'd see about, to be conservative, maybe 2,000 people dead. Maybe more. I'm just trying to be nice about it, because I don't want to hear anyone dying. But you know what? This is the real deal here. And this actually happened. And you should have seen the pictures of this. I don't know if it's got it on here or not. My printer kind of screwed up when I printed it out. But it had like, I think it's got it. It's got, I'll show the pictures here. It's got like people stuck in the subways of New York City. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, if you live in New York City, then, God bless you. Nothing against you there. But I mean, if something ever happens, y'all, you got to save yourself. Okay? You got to prepare. And a lot of people in New York do not have cars. They rely on taxis, which is another screwed up job that they're trying to do with the New World Order, and trying to get you under their way of basically eventually taxing the highway. That's a whole nother ball game. And you not owning anything, you renting your whole life, renting an expensive apartment in an expensive city with an expensive car that you probably don't even have. You're probably going to lease it or rent it, and just giving it back to the owners later on, the dealership. I mean, just completely screwed. You have to own things. You have to claim things yours so the government can't take it, unless probably your guns, which they'll try and do anyway, eventually. But this is what happened. That happened, when did that happen? April 21st is when that came out. Wow. Big things happened the 21st. April 21st happened. That was on the top of Drudge. Another one down. Another one bites the dust. And then you get the article I mentioned earlier. Washington, D.C. to hold massive coordinated terrorist attack drill this Wednesday. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll throw it back up again. I mean, how much more will it take? Why are they doing this? Obviously, there's something coming that we don't know about as citizens. Obviously, we got to prepare. Obviously, being in mega cities aren't safe right now. So I don't suggest anyone living in a rural area or living in a smaller city that's not as clustered, but has a potential, to have basically a gridlock if there was ever an emergency. Hell, even an asteroid coming in, the NASA warns about like 2 days before. Oh, by the way, asteroid coming in that's going to destroy, let's say, a third of the U.S. on the eastern board. You're screwed if you're in the big cities because there's going to be a gridlock. You should have seen L.A. If you never saw L.A. on Thanksgiving, that's what it'll look like. Probably times 3. So, don't know what to tell you there. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, do you think about these things when you move to these places? Do you think about national emergencies? Do you think about, what should I do if this happens? How do I prepare my family for this? How do I save myself if you don't have a family? How do you, things like that. How do I survive outside of a city? Have you ever survived? Have you ever lived outside of a city? It's pretty nice, to be honest. I lived in both, and I love the latter. So, but it basically goes on. It even mentions Operation Gotham Shield in this thing. And it says, then, as we learned earlier, April 26th, get this, people, on Zero Hedge. April 26th is also when the entire Senate will be briefed by Donald Trump and his 4 top defense and military officials on the situation in North Korea at the White House, an event which Reuters dubbed as unusual. Yes, it is unusual for Trump to meet with the UN like that on such short notice for reasons we do not yet know. But we can easily assume, because of all these forewarnings that I'm giving you here in big time major articles that are coming out admitting it, and then people want to tell me that North Korea is not a threat and we shouldn't worry about them. You fools! That's what they want you to think. Don't worry about that. Of course North Korea is a threat. Of course it is. And of course Facebook's mind gaming people. Of course they're trying to control your mind. I mean, it's just things like that. Of course there's fluoride in the water. Of course there's GMOs in your frozen foods. And other things that aren't organic. Of course it's there. Of course they're trying to kill you. Depopulate. Just like, of course, Bill Gates wants you to take vaccines because it's good for you. And then Elmo's promoting it because it's good for you. And then, then you get kids that kind of end up like, and not make fun of these kids, but that's how they end up. They can't talk. A lot of them have diseases. They pump you with hepatitis B the moment you're born, which you basically might as well just throw your liver across the room and shoot it. But no, it's okay because the government told me to do it. No, it's okay because my doctor told me to do it when Obamacare is free, right? Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I sidetracked, but that's like the lie. I'm trying to just connect the dots with the lies here, just so you can see what's really going on and saying that, yes, I agree, North Korea is a threat. They're threatening us every single day. I mean, I see articles every day, about 3 or 4 articles alone, just on one website, how they're threatening to hit us, threatening to burn us to ashes, hit our cities. They're going to continue to test. Sanctions don't affect North Korea, people. They don't affect North Korea. Nothing affects North Korea. Kim Jong-un is a total, complete, lost buffoon who feels like he's an unstoppable brat. And that's what he is, a freaking brat. He's annoying. He's instigating. Honestly, I honestly halfway second guessed what I said a little while ago. I think like a few weeks ago, saying that it's not good to overthrow heads of states, which I agree, but this is a whole nother monkey. This is a whole nother animal right here that we're dealing with. And this guy could seriously cause some damage if he develops and keeps developing more ICBM warhead carrying nuclear missiles. That's just what's going on. I mean, I'm reading major articles here. April 26th is also when the USS Carl Vinson is expected to finally arrive off the coast of the Korean Peninsula. So, basically what you need to get away from this is look out for that day. Look out for that day. I mean, because April 26th, something can happen. I'm honestly a little freaked out about it. But, thank God I do not live in any of these major cities that were hit by the attacks, or a major city in general. But the ones that do, like I would say, and that are watching this, I seriously keep a huge eye out for what's happening, because you might be next. I'm not sure. I'm not going to promise anything, but what's happening in the news is big time. Stay right here. I'm your host, Justin Comer, on the Justin Comer Show. We'll be right back. Stay aware. This is so serious, folks. Don't give up. Don't listen to the mainstream. What I'm telling you is real. I got factual articles right here telling you everything. Stay with me.